Hi everyone. Today for homework you need to annotate our first article. You should be able to download it on Canvas um, in the Word document form. So that's what we're going to be working with today. But I also want to show how to work with a PDF because you will also find this article in your class reader. So what we are going to do is annotate it for causes, effects, and solutions of plagiarism. So first of all, um, we're going to start reading it, and I'm just going to show you what I want you to do. So the first thing, so you're going to be annotating in the margin or as a comment in the margin. So I want to show you how we're going to do that. So let's start reading. And we're looking for causes of plagiarism, effects of plagiarism, and solutions of plagiarism. So C for cause, E for effect, and S for solution. All right, so here we go. Let's read the introduction. This is The Plagiarism Problem by Sean Price. And if you noticed, I called this the Price article, and we'll always refer to the articles with the family name of the author. So this is by Sean Price. So when I ask you to do your homework, I'll say that I want you to annotate the Price article, and that's what I mean. So here we've got the introduction. To be or not to be, that is the question. That sentence could make a really snappy opening for any article, but there's one problem. It's already a famous line from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. To borrow these exact words in a school paper without using quotation marks or giving Shakespeare credit would be pretty foolish. And not just because it's so famous. Passing off another person's work as your own is called plagiarism, and it's a serious offense. Well, this is not a cause, effect, or solution, but I always like to make a notation or an annotation of definitions. So here's a definition that they give in this article: passing off, which means pretending, another person's work as your own is called plagiarism. So there's a definition. I want to make an annotation about definitions also. So I'm going to go up here to the review panel in my Word. I have a Word for Mac OS, and I'm just going to hit new comment. And that will give me a comment. I can put that here. I'm just going to put definition plagiarism. So I always like to do that with definitions. All right, so let's continue. So plagiarism is the act of using or passing off as one's own the ideas and writings of another. So here's also more definition. And so I might just put def here. And I don't really have to select everything, just a little bit of the beginning. So here I have definition. So I know I can find a definition if I need it in this article. All right, so it says, here are some common forms of plagiarism. Cut and paste, the simplest form of copying, is using someone else's writing word for word without providing quote marks or giving credits. Paraphrasing, the plagiarizer puts another person's ideas into different words but gives no credit. So you also need to credit if you paraphrase. If you take the idea and put it in other words, you still have to tell your teacher what the source is. And we'll talk about that later on this week or next week. And then unconscious. All writers borrow from others without realizing it. That's why it's important to check notes and sources. Unconscious plagiarism is often used as an excuse by anyone who gets caught. So unconscious means they didn't know, they didn't realize, they weren't aware. So here the author's given 3 frequent types of plagiarism. So I might just make a comment here. So a margin note and put 3 frequent kinds of plagiarism. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm still looking for causes, effects, or solutions of plagiarism. So far in the introduction, I haven't found them yet. So choices and consequences. At one point or another, everyone who writes has to decide whether to be or not to be a plagiarist. Unfortunately, one study shows that many teens choose to be. More than half of 4,500 high school students surveyed by Rutgers University in 2000 and 2001 admitted to some kind of plagiarizing from the internet. So this looks like it's a possible cause here, the internet. So I'm just going to select a little bit of it and make a comment. Cause, oops. Maybe I'll just put C. C for cause, and that's internet. Sorry, my fingers. Internet. All right, and then, so there's one cause. Okay, now cause effect solution. I don't think there's a teacher in America who hasn't confronted an instance of plagiarism, says Timothy Dodd, executive director of Duke University's Center for Academic Integrity. But plagiarism can lead to, okay, there's something that would be a result: humiliation, failing grades, and even expulsion. So why do people do it? So here I have an effect, right? Because plagiarism leads to, or causes, results in shame, I guess. So I'm just going to put E for effect. You don't have to do it like this, but just so you know, that's what I'm doing. E for effect, and that would be punishment and shame, maybe. So I'm just putting some keywords in so I can find. So this is for later, next week, or we'll begin to write our essay this coming weekend, and you'll need to have some causes and effects support from the article. So that's why I'm doing that here in the margin area, because then you can quickly scan, because you'll read at least 4 articles for your essay that you're going to do, your first essay. All right, so let's continue, just one more. So, but part of the problem is that plagiarism is not always clear-cut. Writers learn by studying and imitating other writers, so it's easy for some people to go a step further. Instead of just imitating style, they steal thoughts, phrases, or even whole pages. So here they're saying another cause of plagiarism, and it might be that the rules are not always clear-cut, it says. I think that means they're not clear, or they're complicated, or they're complex. So one cause, and I'm putting C for cause, but I'll just put this in so you see what I'm doing, is rules are complex. All right, so here, this is what I want you to do. Let's see if we can find one solution. You also need to be looking for solutions. There's not quite as many solutions. So, so I want you to go through this article and check all the way for causes, effects, and solutions of plagiarism. And please make some margin notes. You can do this also handwritten. If you have a printer and you want to print this article out, just write your handwritten notes in the margin. If you don't want to use the menu choices, if you don't have Word, I'm not sure, and you can't make comments. I also wanted to show you quickly what it would look like if you had a PDF document, because that's how most of the articles you'll receive, that's the format of those articles, because they're in the class reader. So I won't always send you a Word document to work with. So let's take a look at a PDF of this article. And this is what you would find in your class reader. You have this in your class reader as well. So I've got a version of Adobe Acrobat that I can edit, and it costs, you have to pay for it. You can pay for it by the month. So let me show you, it's got an editing feature. So I'm going to go over here and edit PDF. And then here I get to add text. And then I would just make my margin notes like this. So here I have cut and paste, paraphrase, unconscious. These are what we call the 3 frequent types. So I would just make my margin notes like this rather than using the comment function. Okay, 3 frequent types. And then down here, I've got another cause, which is the internet, like we did before. So, so I would go down here, and I want it in the margin so that it's easy to scan for. So I'm going to put internet cause. All right, and then down here I have an effect. So I would make that like this: effect, punishment, and humiliation or shame. That's easier to write. All right, let me stretch that if I can so it's not so, there we go. All right, so that's what you can do here. I kind of like this because it's got, it's closer, right? You just read the article and then you can scan your margin. And let me show you how you would get that. I'm going to share, let's see, my, oh, here it is. So you have to go to Adobe. So I went to, I just searched Adobe Acrobat. And then I got this plan. Now this would be a plan if you buy it from the US, but I'm sure there's a plan from your country. So you just need to upgrade from the free Adobe Acrobat to the Adobe Acrobat DC. And you can get, if you have just Windows only, you can get this $12.99 a month. If you have a Mac, $14.99 a month. And it gives you, and you also get a free trial with the Mac. So I think you can get a month free. So that would bring you 4 weeks into our course. So you would only have to pay $14.99, and then you cancel. And it gives you the opportunity to do what I did, which is edit text. And so that's what I like about Adobe Pro, or the standard if you just have a PC. Okay, so I would recommend getting that. It's really nice to be able to do this type of thing where you annotate, because when you have to write, and on your in-class essay, you will have to read a lot of articles and write, you will need to have some margin notes so you can do it efficiently. So, so that's what your homework is. You have this nice Word document, so you don't have to worry about the purchasing the extra Adobe Acrobat, but I would recommend it to use with your class reader, which you will be also downloading today. So thank you very much. And I hope that's clear how to annotate. And we'll check these in class tomorrow. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to have you annotate yours and then turn it in as a homework assignment, upload it. So I will make a place for that in Canvas for you. So after you've finished your homework, finished annotating, save it and upload it on Canvas so I can check it out. And then we'll go over it tomorrow. We'll review it tomorrow. So thanks very much and have a good afternoon and evening.